Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. And today we're going to do a different kind of breakdown. We're going to do gold. So before we go into this, if you're not subscribed to this channel, then go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And I decided to do this market mainly because I talked to my Discord group and I did a little poll and people wanted to see gold. And if you haven't signed up, go to chartconfidence.com/free course. You not only get a free course, but you also get a free community as well, where I do some breakdowns of things. I talk to people inside of the group. I get suggestions. I do all of that just to help the greater trading community. So go ahead and check that out. So let's get back to the chart. So basically what we're going to do here is we're going to do some fresh analysis. So we're just going to clear all drawings, mainly because this past week and even last week, there were some really big moves in the market. And basically, I was not able to catch any of these moves, mainly because a lot of these things happened in the London session. So if you're not new to this channel, you know that I like to use this sessions indicator. Basically, if we zoom in a little bit, we can see that the really big moves, this was London, and there was a reversal in New York. This was earlier this week, and then London, and then some more consolidation. So I wasn't able to really catch the moves, but there are times like last week when I was traveling where there was a really big move inside of the New York session and beyond. So the market's like that. Sometimes you'll be able to catch a move in London. Sometimes you'll be able to catch a move in New York. And even very rarely, you'll be able to catch a cool gold move in the Asian session. So I have done it just kind of on a whim, looking at my chart, like, holy crap, it's in my area. So I just took it very low risk because it's Asian market and it shot up. I was like, okay, great. So anyway, so sometimes the market is like that. So let's go ahead and turn off this. Okay, great. So let's do the same thing we do every single time. We start on the weekly chart. And as we can see, let me move this over. And as we can see, we can see this really, really big candle from this past week. Last week, there was a lot of movement. Let me zoom this out because these wicks are really hard to see. And if you've traded gold at all, you know that this market is kind of wicky. So basically, it forms these really big wicks in either direction. You can see one right there as well. But the previous week as well, we do see that this past week did break above last week's high and then continue to push up a little bit more, but the big move was right here. So the reason why we do this top-down analysis is because we want to look at it on a higher time frame and then go to the lower time frame and then be able to find areas where we can capitalize on the market. So that way we can catch these really big moves. So going back to the weekly, we see that it's definitely in a bullish state. So let's go ahead and go down to the daily time frame. So daily time frame, we are seeing a lot more data on this particular time frame. And one thing that I want to mark off that I am seeing right now is I'm seeing a support level. So right through here, we're seeing a support level. Let me just line this up really quick. And basically, I'm making these super skinny on the higher time frame, these boxes really skinny on the higher time frame, mainly because when we go down to the lower time frame, we don't want a box looking like this. Like, it's just not going to be cute and it's going to be hard to reprice. So making it extremely skinny on this daily time frame. But like I said, I see a support here. And the biggest things for me is the fact that we have this bearish candle next to a bullish candle, formed a support, and then it did that again right here, and then again right here. So this is telling me that this is a really strong support, especially because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, and I forgot this one, 8, 9. 9 daily candles pretty much hovering around this 2157 area. So definitely want to make sure that I mark that off. So I'm just going to duplicate this line. I'm on a Mac, Command C, Command B, copy paste. And I see a resistance level somewhere right here on this daily time frame. So it's basically, when we're looking at resistances, it's the opposite of support. So right here, I have a bullish candle next to a bearish candle that forms a resistance. Right here, once again, And you can see from here, after it broke through resistance on the daily time frame, it shot up. So for 2 days, well, actually, after it broke above this level, 2 days straight, it was up. Although it did form some bearish or bullish candles down here below that. So we'll talk more about that in a second. So let me just get this kind of lined up. And basically, I like to line up this level right here with the most recent resistance level right here. Although we do have a resistance right here, this is newer than this. So that's why we're lining it up basically with this one right here. Cool. So now let's go down to the H4 time frame. I'm going to reset a little bit just because as we zoom in on these prices, it gets a little tough to see. So let me make this bigger and scooch over. Okay, cool. So on the H4 time frame, what I'm seeing here is I'm seeing that same support level, but I'm also seeing down here where we have some wicks in this area. And wicks are definitely things that you want to take into consideration when you're charting out your price because it's information. It may look like a wick on a higher time frame, but as you go down to a lower time frame, it's going to look like actual candles, or it's going to be candles that have actually formed. So it's information that we definitely want to take into consideration when we're plotting out these support and resistance lines. So right here, we got a really big wick. We have 2 wicks here, a wick here. We have some candles down here. We have candles and wicks down here, candles and wicks down here. So this is telling me that I want to make an adjustment of my level. So let's go ahead and move this down to the lowest spot. And I'm liking this spot for 2 reasons. So the first reason is because we are perfectly lined up with this support level right here. And we can see that price bounced around a little bit and then it shot up. So that's what we're looking for. We're looking for these really strong bounce levels. That's another thing that I take into consideration when I'm mapping out my support and resistance levels. Another thing I'm looking at right here is that we have a mini support level that has formed, and this line is practically lining up with this perfectly, so I really like that as well. So let's take a look at the top side. So far what I'm seeing is looking really good. So if we go back over here in time, we can see that we do have kind of a resistance level right here. We have 2 resistances right here, some rejection. We do see a break here, but then we also have this retest area right here where a resistance was formed. And if you've been looking at any of my videos, you know that break and retest is one of my favorite things to trade, although this would have been a trade to the downside and would have been considered a counter trend trade. But we had this resistance here. We have pretty much a fake out right here. A fake out is basically something that you cannot anticipate. And basically what that looks like is just like this. You have a candle that breaks up above a resistance level, but then the next candle breaks back into the zone. So that is considered a fake out. And eventually it does go up and shoots to the moon. So I'm liking this level for the most part. I don't think I want to change anything. Oh, another thing I forgot to mention is right here we do have a little support right there. So we have resistances and support throughout this entire level. So definitely want to keep this level going right here. So another thing I'm seeing on this H4 time frame is I'm seeing another area where I could draw out a resistance level. Mainly right here, we have a bunch of rejections, and then we also have, let me scoot this over, we have a lot of rejections right here, really big rejection here, here. So 4 big rejections, and then we have just a massive sell-off right here, pushing with a lot of volume down into this other zone. So that's a really good resistance level. We do see eventually price did come back up and shoot to the moon. So let's go ahead and look at this on the H3 time frame. And sometimes there's not going to be a whole lot of differences on these, or from the H4 time frame to the H3 time frame, or pretty much where it's just like a small difference between. But sometimes there is. So that's why I still like to go to it, because it'll give me an opportunity to refine my levels. So looking at this, this still looks good. This still looks good to me, and so does this. So let's go down here. This still looks good. I do want to move this just a little bit. Okay, right there. Still looking good to me. All right, awesome. So let's go ahead and go down to the H2 time frame, getting a little bit more data. Once again, I'm just looking at my levels just to see if the levels still look good and make sense to me. And they do for the most part. So this still rejecting, this right here, we got a lot more data here. So I may want to adjust this level right here. So the thing that I'm seeing, I'll tell you in a second, is I'm seeing a support that formed right here and it bounced around and it shot up. And then I'm looking at this level right here. We have the same resistance level, but now that we're going down into the different time frames, we can get a lot more data. So that's why I wanted to make that quick adjustment. And let's go over to here. And this is still looking good to me, although we do have this area that kind of looks like a fake out right there, but it's totally fine. The bottom is still looking good to me. All right. So now let's go down to H1 time frame, even more data. So one thing I want to point out is since the market is closed and price pretty much made this strong bullish candle and then it also has this wick, I like to draw a level right here because this is the highest price that price got to before the market closed. And it's kind of weird, like I don't have anything else. This is the highest high that it has made in the market. There's nothing to the left. There's obviously nothing to the right because the market is closed. So I just like to draw that just because it's the highest point. And as the market opens and more data is printed, then I'll be able to adjust this level. But for right now, I really like to mark that off. So I'm going to go ahead and look at my levels here. So this looks good over here, but one thing that I'm seeing in recent price data is that this is actually, the support is actually right here. So if you look to the left, people are like, oh, now these candles are above this line. And that's totally fine because we want to prioritize the data that is the most recent. So that's why, and this is a support here, so that's why I wanted to move this right here because that looks good to me and that makes sense to me. So this is still looking good on the H1, still looking good. This is still looking good. And then down here, I'm still satisfied with these levels down here. So all of that still looks good to me. So pretty much what will be my game plan for this upcoming week? So in terms of my game plan, I'm definitely looking for buys because we've seen on the weekly time frame, daily time frame, all of that momentum is bullish. So I'm not interested in taking a counter trend at all. I'm only interested in taking a trade with the trend. So what I do imagine, or something that I see that could happen, is that since price made this high up here, I do see it retracing, possibly here, and then going back up and just continuing up. So I'm going to stop that right there. So, and the reason why I picked this level is because if we look here on the H1 time frame, we do see a small support that was created. And we also see some resistances that were created as well. So if we take a look at this, we see the support here, but then we also see 1, 2, 3 rejections here. Actually, we can count this one as well, 4 rejections. And then it made this really big candle pretty much in the last hour of the market closing. So this is definitely an area to consider. So that's one thing that I see. And possibly the price could make a deeper retracement. Since it's closed here, what price could do is it could actually come all the way back down here and then continue up. I mean, we just don't know what price can do. That's why we want to create different game plans for different scenarios. So another thing, let me see. So there is a possibility of a counter trend. Like I said, I'm not interested in taking this, but I do see it right here. So especially because we have this support here. And then we also have, let me just copy that. We also have this resistance zone over here. It's actually quite strong level because we have all of this rejection here. So this level right here, there's a possibility if price was to break and close below this level, and this level is roughly 2200, that price could come down here. Let me draw this out. So it could come down here and play in this zone. And I say that because of this strong support resistance level right here. And this could be a good counter trend trade, but I probably wouldn't anticipate for price to come all the way down to this 2185 level, mainly because we have some consolidation over here. Now with enough volume, consolidation, whatever, price will break through it, but let's just assume that there's just normal volume, not a higher than anticipated level of volume. So I would actually anticipate for price to come to about here. So this, I like to use these little lines. Let's see, how do I want to draw this? Like right here. I try to get the most touches, and I may adjust this. So right about here, and then scoot this over. So I'm just pressing Shift key while I'm moving these lines just to make sure it's not like all over the place. So I like to snap it to that. Very cool. All right, so that looks good to me, and mainly I chose this because there's 1, 2, 3 candles that touch this line, and this is, what is this? This is 2192 for gold. So that would be what I would anticipate for a counter trend. Like I said, I'm not interested in taking it, but that is an idea. I'm mostly focused on buys. And typically when price makes a high like this, there is some sort of retracement. So we don't know what that can look like. Sometimes I do like to use the Fibonacci retracement tool. Now there's nothing super magic about it. I just really like to use it just kind of as a ruler. So here is the high up here. And as you can see, these levels that I drew, it pretty much lines up perfectly. So this is the 50% level right here. The 61.8 is basically perfectly touching these rejected candles right here. And then, yeah, so anyway, so like I said, it's nothing magic about it, but it is nice when you do see your Fibonacci retracement levels line up perfectly with support and resistance levels that you've drawn. So this is just kind of what I am looking at the moment. And pretty much, let me look at one more thing. Yeah, so I really don't want to take any counter trend trades on this account. This could be another idea as well below this 2185 level. But once again, you got all this consolidation. But if there's a lot of volume in the market, it'll push right past to this next strong support level at roughly 2150 kind of zone. It's really 2146 on my chart, but it may look a little bit different depending on what chart you are using. And I don't know which one I'm using at the moment. Oh yeah, because I took that off. So anyway, yeah, so pretty much this is it for my analysis. If you found this helpful, go ahead and like and subscribe to this channel, and I'll be posting more content like this later. Bye.